And down here in the bottom left-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom, we have our blue Terran player from Eclipsia. It is Show. Give this intro a little bit something extra. Apparently, here in the top right-hand corner, we have our pink Terran player, the last hope for New Breed. Give it up for Downfall.
Woo!
All right,
Woo.
so Downfall versus Show, TVT here, and of course, the match is on the line for New Breed. They need to come back and win not just this game, but also another player from Eclipsia. Show, of course, just needs to win this game to close things out for his team and advance them into the round of 16.
Yep, and New Breed, Downfall, I like his strategy so far. Picking pink on Cloud Kingdom.
It's good.
It's very hard to see those units. Like that supply depot, that could just be a rock. I can't even tell. And
Show may just show up to his base and
like,
say, oh, I guess no one's here.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'll leave the game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Maybe Downfall will throw out that little error message. Parse not found. And Show will just get confused and leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to see that happen in a pro game at some point once and have it uphold.
That'd be equivalent to Dark Rabbi killing himself in a game of Shootmania in a competitive setting.
That's just inevitable. I mean, that's going to happen at some point. So you guys, if you guys tuned into the Shootmania stream yesterday, you got to see Josh, myself, and Dark Rabbi get embarrassed at the hands of Team B2G. But we had fun. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
And two, you kind of got this weird mix of Ron as he is outside of outside of work and how he is inside of work. So he is. You can hear things being thrown and destroyed at his house over Ventrilo. I'll just put it that way whenever we're playing Elite and we lose.
Yeah, it usually sounds like he's picking up the keyboard and bashing his desk like rapidly. But he still plays, so I guess he hasn't destroyed it yet. But he always, when we play Shootmania, he gets these little surges of confidence where he's like, all right, boys, this is how it's done. And then he gets shot once. He's like, no, I lied. That's not how it's done. Don't do this. That's usually the most amusing. But yeah, Shootmania, we're talking about it a lot. I'm sorry. If you're just here to enjoy some StarCraft 2, you're probably pretty annoyed. But the game is really fun, and you can go try it out for free right now. So there's really no reason not to spread the love.
It's our next IPL title as well, so it's going to be around here for a while, and I hope you guys do like it. We'll certainly be casting it quite a bit as we are, like I said, very avid players of the game. Show now, importantly, did get in. He scouted. He saw that there was no add-on, and I believe, did he actually see the factory itself? No, was just off of it. But with no add-on, with the gas being there for that long of a time, I can assume that he expects what's coming here. The question is, how much does Downfall want to put into one-base play?
And the other question is, how much does Show even care? Because he's the guy who's just the most confident in his builds. I mean, no matter what he sees, he usually just dedicates himself to that, whatever build he's doing. I mean, sometimes, obviously, he'll exploit weaknesses if he sees an opening, but usually for the first 10 minutes of a game, Show's already got it plotted out. And I have to believe it's map and matchup specific. He's probably played Cloud Kingdom TVT enough times where he's got 2 or 3 builds to choose from and just goes right down that line. So far, basically, he does builds that he thinks are safe. So really, no matter what he sees in there, he knows that the Terran player is only going to be able to do the same things he can anyway. So he knows what's possible and what's not.
And it looks like his opponent is going to go for a Marine Hellion drop. So pretty quick aggression here at the beginning of the game, and a second gas gets added. That's pretty interesting. I was wondering if he was just going to load up one medevac's worth, head out, try and do some damage, and expand behind it with an economic advantage. But no, he is actually going to go a little bit more heavy into this. As we can see on Show's side of things, though, his second base is already down. He's got his combat shields on the way, producing a fair number of Marines off of 3 barracks. So he's looking pretty good as well. Economically, he's looking very good.
Yep, he's just investing in BIOS so far, and Downfall with the couple of Hellions could actually manage to do some good damage if he's careful. Show is usually pretty quick to respond to stuff like that, though. Obviously, he's very skilled and experienced with drops, just doing them himself, so he should be able to respond quickly enough. The barracks placement that Show has done along the left side of his base, I'm really curious about that. Do you think it's to spot drops easily? Or I don't know, it just seems kind of an odd spot.
It's kind of cool though, because it's still a super quick path to get out of the base, but it's not exposed to any of the cliff lines whatsoever. So it's kind of clever. I mean, obviously he has a different reasoning behind it beyond what I'm saying, but I like it.
Yeah, oh man, this medevac actually could be in trouble. Yeah, the Marines already waiting for that medevac entry, but that's a problem because now the front is really, really open, and Downfall does not take advantage of that, trying to score that quick bunker kill or anything, but now Downfall seems to be at sort of a loss. He doesn't want to attack into a bunker. He doesn't really know what's in there, so there actually, after being hesitant for a little bit, decides to press forward. That is going to give the Marines time to get in there. SCV is repairing the bunker right back up to full, though, and the Downfall has not really put a dent into Show's defense yet.
He did just kill an additional 3 workers. The workers were all really bunched up right here, and one more shot and he would have been able to take out a lot more, but of course then he would have probably lost all of his Hellions. So it was a trade. Oh, a little bit of bad positioning there. Show also sitting on the high ground as well, trying to deal out a couple of points of damage there. But now, Downfall's only now expanding. He's invested in tanks, so his expansion has been just incredibly late. Even though Show took a little bit of economic damage there, he's still well ahead in workers, and his economy is just so much better than his opponent.
Yeah, Show just been steadily mining away. His income right now is just a lot better. Downfall, oh yeah, resources lost, very similar still. There is a siege tank now for Downfall, though. This is going to help him actually get into position to try and do this attack once more. A couple of SCVs getting destroyed there is going to help as well. And Downfall, I really like his positioning here. He's bringing SCVs along for the ride as well to do some repairs.
Well, looks like that bunker is going to slowly get repaired up once again. 4 SCVs sitting on top of it, but they're going to die very quickly.
Oh, no.
Wow! And that tank has killed so many workers.
Yeah, the tank just paying off, obviously, very well for Downfall. And now a second one has arrived. If he can get them situated in good enough positioning, he's going to allow his Marines and Hellions to get some additional damage in as well. But oh, the second tank sieging up just now is actually going to be the first thing to die. A couple of Marines going down as well. And Downfall getting cleaned out very efficiently by Show's pure Marine force.
Yeah, that was pretty well done. He loses a few more workers, but look at the power of the multiple command centers. He's still ahead by 5 workers. He's 7 now. He's still up in overall mule count until that one just now landed from Downfall. So Show on pretty much all fronts is looking very good. He's only a bit behind in tech, but committing himself to pure bio. He doesn't really care about that. He's already got his combat shields done, and Stimpak's just finishing up.
Yeah, so this reminds me of Bunny because he was Blue Terran when he was building the pure Marine, but obviously with medevacs, they're a lot more powerful and proper upgrades. Like Bunny just didn't commit to gas at all when he was playing, but it looks like Show is doing the same sort of thing, but better. He's now about to drop into the main here and score a lot of kills, perhaps. The siege tank is already sieged up inside the main, but there's a lot of medevacs here, actually on both sides, to keep these guys fighting. SCVs are a little bit exposed. He's going to manage to snag a few of them, and Show is still just streaming units across the map now. He is going to continue with this attack as long as he can, and all he really has to do is avoid that siege tank fire, and he's going to be able to deal a lot of damage here.
He's picked off 2 supply depots, almost gets a second one actually, unless it gets repaired up very quickly. It's going to go
5,
down.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom. All right, and picks off another one as well, so that is
man.
extremely annoying.
He is majorly blocked right now, 62 over 54, and the tank is still sieged up. He's killing a couple of Marines, but there's no way for Downfall to actually try and meet that supply. He's going to have to use SCVs basically to try and defend his main base, which is never a position you want to be in. Now we have these other medevacs and Marines picking off the natural, and Downfall looking like he might take a tumble.
Downfall? Oh, okay, all right.
A tumble into a loss.
Well, I hope not. I hope, you know, I always, you know, despite the fact this has been a long set, I always do like when sets, you know, kind of come down to that nail-biting ace match right at the very end. So part of me does want to see Downfall make a big comeback here and push this to an ace match, but it's still going to be a very difficult proposition. Show looks like he's floating out his 3rd command center now, so, I mean, his economy is just so much more well-developed. He shut down his opponent's economy for a while, too. Ended up picking off 8 workers there, so evened up a good bit of the economic damage he himself took. So he's up by 12 workers. He's up a base. He's now producing tanks on his own.
Yeah, I was going to say the tank count is really the only thing keeping Downfall in the game, and Show is now trying to match that as well. So with Marines dropped again at the mineral line, he's going to kill some more SCVs before the tanks are actually able to pick them all off. and just scoring those worker kills, cementing his economic lead is a great idea. He's about to even up on workers killed. He does have a lot more workers actually alive. Only 2 Marines here on this cliff are able to hit the medevac, but there's so much happening now at the natural. Big drops on directly onto the siege tanks are going to get them killed off, so the Marines have less to fear inside the main. There's still 1 tank sieged up, and Sho is going to have to back off a little bit, but he did really a good job killing off those siege tanks.
And he's being very cavalier with his units. It feels like he's very confident at the moment. He was up by about 40 supply during the height of that harassment. He's down to about 25, up to 30 again now. He has even up the overall workers killed and is sitting 14 workers ahead of his opponent.
Yeah, and he's got a lot more, well, not even a lot more bioforces standing anymore. He, like you said, he was just kind of running in there trying to make sure that the tanks got destroyed so that he could even up that tank count. At this point, he could just form everything up here in the middle and try to do that more standard siege push instead of doing all the medevac play. He does have a decent enough tank count, and siege mode is already being researched. So with an armory coming up as well, he might actually be able to pass him in vehicle upgrades or start working toward Thors.
If you would move them down from the factory too, it would be awesome. But Downfall finishing up another command center. Sho actually adding on 2 more factories and that armory, so he's going to be up to a total of 3. He'll have a very, very incredible mech count here pretty soon, going for a true biomech style here. He may actually switch entirely. No, he is producing another 7 Marines, so continuing with that, just trying to put pressure on this command center as it lifts over as well.
Man, he actually could have got some SCV kills there as well if the 3 Marines were that valuable that he needed to run them away. He just missed out on some nice worker kills there. But that's all right. He can save these Marines, bring them back to the medevacs, get them healed up, and they will rejoin this army here that is 60 supply ahead of New Breed Downfall.
All right, well, Sho pretty comfortably on 3 bases. Could work towards another one here in a second. This is going to be a planetary fortress for Downfall. Of course, he doesn't have the units he needs to be able to adequately defend that. Thus, he is going to sacrifice a bit of economy to make sure that he gets this, this command center nice and defended.
Yep, and it's already about to finish as a planetary fortress, so Sho basically doesn't need to attack the 3rd. He can attack into the natural and avoid the planetary fortress completely with the force that he has. As long as he gets positioned quickly enough, Downfall is not really going to be able to compete with that, I think, just based on sheer numbers. The upgrades on both sides actually appear to be pretty equal, but Sho just has so many more units, and this single Marine here is actually going to see this huge wave of death crash down around him, so Downfall will at least know where to put his units to prepare for this attack.
All right, so we'll see, yeah, spreading out those tanks now, sieges up, and we'll see where Sho decides to move to. This is a very good map for defenders because it's a very short walk distance from the 3rd over to the natural when you're on the high ground. So just a couple of well-positioned tanks are able to take out a pretty massive amount of units. That being said, it looks like Downfall tries to send out a few Marines there. Sho is already ready for that and going to send his forces right back around the side.
Yep, and the tank positioning is going to be basically the key for both sides here. We are approaching the 20-minute mark again, so that would that would be what, the 6th out of 7 games? No, 7th out of 8 games that's across the 20-minute mark. Basically. Oh my goodness! So these teams are actually quite evenly matched. I mean, it's still quite impressive from New Breed to hang with a team that's already well established like Eclipsia.
But Sho is in such a good spot right now. Look at the amount of resources he's already banked, and he's maxed. So, I mean, it is a difficult proposition for Downfall to try and force his way back into this. Wouldn't be surprised even to see Sho kind of eke around the side here and start putting on pressure from that side. He now has control of the air, so he can start walking his tanks forward ever so slowly as well. That's right, and for, I mean, those who still somehow don't know, if a siege tank doesn't have air spotting or some other unit spotting, it can't even reach its own maximum distance because it can't see that far. So Vikings act as a spotter to give a siege tank its maximum range, and that really helps out when you've got these gridlock battles. But right now, tanks are just blasting back and forth on both sides. Sho's trying to kill off that Viking because, again, that spotting is very important for the siege tanks to be able to reach their max range. And oh, the tanks on the low ground are getting so much damage in on those Marines. One more blast and he gets
killed off as well. The Planetary Fortress actually managed to get a couple of kills on it as well right near the end, but Sho has a lot of bio still standing. It's going to be interesting to see how he uses his positioning to get some use out of them.
So Sho defending the space once again. He's got a few tanks sitting there. Looks like he's trying to lead those Marines right back into range of the tanks, and does. So the attack is thwarted once again. Downfall setting up for a big flank here. Unfortunately, his Planetary Fortress is still under siege. Trying to move up a little bit further here, but the tanks are now within the range of Sho's forces. Here comes Downfall from the back, though, and it looks like he may be able to clean out what's sitting here for Sho, but it came at a pretty great cost.
Yeah, Sho saw his timing to actually get in there and try and kill those tanks off. There's still one siege tank standing for Sho in siege mode, and still killing off a couple of Marines before getting killed there. Now all these medevacs are going to need to retreat. That's actually pretty impressive of Downfall to actually be able to take out that entrenched position. However, he is still down 70 supply, and Sho has this secondary army already mobilized toward that Planetary Fortress once again.
Okay, so Sho now with +1 vehicle weapons going up to +2, so now he has an advantage in overall vehicles as well, and just in sheer number. He's got 7 tanks to his opponent's 1, and that is going to make getting in position over here at the third so easy for Sho.
Yeah, every single category Sho had more units: SCVs, medevacs, tanks, Marines, everything. So Sho is going to try and do that positioning again with the siege tanks at max range and uses air units to safely attack that Planetary Fortress. He's going to force a move out of Downfall if he's able to do that. Otherwise, he can just kill those SCVs freely. And he can also load up and go into the main, which he's got a big Marine force already cruising in here. There is a siege tank sieged up somewhere, blasting away. There it is, right in the middle of all those barracks, but he is getting a lot of damage in. So Sho, if he's able to pay attention to both fronts, he might be able to find an opening as well. Actually, taking some damage here at this bottom right base. I didn't even notice. Yeah, there's basically just a lot of fighting happening all over the place. The tanks move forward just an inch so they can get in range of that Planetary Fortress, and that's what Sho needs to really force the issue here.
And there we go. Last tank falls for Downfall. I think he has 1 inside of the main, but that's it. Yeah, that was the one that was sitting there. And that's actually it. That's GG. Congratulations. And Eclipsia moves on to the round of